Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we go to ISM Raceway and decide the final four drivers for both the Xfinity playoffs and the Cup Series playoffs. Obviously we're locked into the Cup Series final four, and William Byron's trying to fight his way into the final four for our Cup Series team, or our Xfinity Series team, today here at ISM. He started in the third position, so he was looking like he had a strong car, but sitting 10 points or so out, I believe it was, and that certainly puts him in a bit of a tight position, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it might have been 4 points though he was, but either way, he's certainly in a tight position, and he's going to have to try and win this race. And sure enough, he had the speed to run up front, as you see him now making a pass on Christopher Bell for the lead here in ISM Raceway as they went down through turns 3 and turns 4. Byron would take the lead for a brief moment, but would have to battle with Kevin Harvick on the final lap of this race, as Kevin Harvick would come through to take the lead from Byron at the white flag as they went down towards turns 1 and turns 2. At this point, it was a must-win situation for Byron to get into the final four as they come through turns 1 and turns 2. He's still on the inside of Harvick as they went out of the corner down the back straightaway, side by side between Byron and Kevin Harvick as they go down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time. Like I said, Byron in a must-win situation, he would clear Kevin Harvick, and William Byron would come out of turn 4 to win his way in to the final four at Homestead, Miami. A great result for William Byron, and now we will compete for an Xfinity Series championship with William, and obviously a Cup Series championship for myself. Hopefully we can bring that championship home for you guys, but obviously we have to decide the 3 drivers in the Cup Series that will be in that Final Four along with me. There, as you see, the Final Four for the Xfinity Series: Byron, Bell, Allgaier, and Daniel Hemrick. So going to be an interesting battle for them, but now it's time to set our sights on the Cup Series race, so hopefully we can have a really good competitive Final Four here after ISM Raceway. As we come through inner qualifying lap through turns 3 and turns 4. This is one of the better laps I've laid down at this track in the past. Now, as I came out of turn 4, coming through across the line, we go P2 with a 26.831. So a great result as we get ready to go green here and decide the Final Four at ISM Raceway.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series returns to ISM Raceway today for the Can-Am 500. We've reached the penultimate event of this thrilling season, and there's no better place than ISM Raceway to take in all the exciting action. ISM's multi-million-dollar renovation is complete, and the upgrades are simply amazing. Fans are raving about the new amenities and fan zone experience. There's lots of excitement around the race as well, because after today, the Championship 4 will be set. Who will be headed to Homestead with a shot at the championship? Well, it's time to find out. NASCAR racing is next.
Alright, we're ready to go green here for the Can-Am 500 at ISM Raceway. Bubba Wallace posted some fast laps in practice, so they might have some speed today in the race, as Parker Kligman failed technical inspection, so he is starting at the back of the field as we get ready to go green from the front row here at ISM Raceway, alongside the pole sitter of Denny Hamlin, who was eliminated in the last round in the playoffs. Now as Phoenix is underway, as we're going green now, as we have behind us Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch, 2 drivers trying to get into the Final Four as we head down towards turns 1. Martin Truex Jr., the only driver in the top 8 that's in a must-win situation, because 2nd through 7th can still battle it out on points as we go through turns 1 and turns 2. Now exiting the corner, heading down the back straightaway, Denny Hamlin quickly gets clear of me as we go down into turn 3 with Truex now on my inside as we come through the center of the corner. Truex, he is going to be able to get clear of me as we exit turn 4, so quickly falling down to the 3rd position here with 17 to go in this first stage as Kyle Busch trails just behind me as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2. Truex already looking to the inside now, Denny Hamlin, and he is trying to take the lead from his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate now as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway side by side for the lead. Up in front of us, Truex certainly showing a lot of speed early on here in ISM Raceways. We're going to try and make it 3 wide there with Hamlin, and Truex will be back out of it now. Truex clear for the lead here at ISM Raceway, so a great start for Martin Truex Jr. in a must-win situation, doing everything he currently needs to do to get into the Final Four. Now as we look to the inside of Hamlin as we go through turns 1 and turns 2, trying to take over that 2nd position from the 11 car of Denny Hamlin as we go side by side down the back straightaway as we head down towards turn 3. Kyle was trailing still just behind us as we go down into the 3rd turn. We do clear Hamlin for the moment and take over P2. And we would continue in 2nd for another handful of laps as now we came to lap 5 through turns 3 and turn 4. Make a bit of a mistake there as I came out of turn 4, getting very loose there on the exit of the corner, making a pretty big save, but we will give up some track position here as Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, and Eric Jones would all get by for a brief amount of time. but I would get back past Denny Hamlin there, who was on the outside, so it was pretty easy to get past him. And now on lap 12, looking to the outside of Eric Jones as we went down the back straightaway. Obviously, myself and Jones not happy with each other once again lately here in this career mode as we send it into turn 3 on the outside. Now Brad Keselowski, who stays clear as we exit the corner, though Jones also staying clear of me as we head down, crossing the line with 6 to go at this point in the first stage. Hamlin trailing behind as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2. Jones looking to the inside out, the 2 of Keselowski, and I'm going to hop on the opportunity to get under the 2 as well as we go out of turn 2 down the back straightaway, trying to push Jones ahead as we go down into turn 3, though now taking back over the 4th position from Brad Keselowski here in ISM, so up to P4, still a top 5 position, not really too much to complain about at this point in the stage. And as we came to lap 16, now Denny Hamlin had passed Keselowski and had run me down actually as we go into turn 3, hitting the apron here in the corner, and we get sideways again and make a big save, continuing to make mistakes early on here at ISM Raceway, but now as we come to the white flag, still in P5 behind Denny Hamlin, like I said, making a few mistakes early on in this first stage, but thankfully we somehow still are in the top 5 on this final lap in stage 1. Now as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway for the final time here in this first stage, Martin Truex Jr. continuing to lead the way as we go down through turn 3 and turn 4. You can see how sideways the car was there on the entrance of the corner as Truex, he would come through to win stage 1, and we come through to get P5 here in the first stage. So a solid stage result there as we have JGR actually 1, 2, 3, 4 here in the first stage. So great performance right now from the Joe Gibbs Racing team as we would stay out from pit road as we get ready now to start the second stage behind Eric Jones in the 20. As like I said, it's all JGR in front of us now as we're ready to start stage 2, and the green flag is back out. And we're back underway, and I must note that Kyle Busch gained a lot of points on Chase Elliott in that first stage, and now it's pretty borderline between Elliott and Kyle Busch for that last spot right now in the final 4. Eric Jones is pretty safe. Kevin Harvick, he's pretty safe, although he did not get stage points. And of course, Martin Truex Jr. has to win the race to get in likely here in ISM Raceway as we go down into turn 3 on the inside of Denny Hamlin as we do get clear of him for that 4th position there as we come through turn 3 and turn 4. Martin Truex Jr. continuing to lead here and at ISM Raceway after we complete the first lap in the second stage as we go down into turn 3 in front of Hamlin and Almirola, who battle side by side. Chase Elliott moving his way forwards now as Jimmy Johnson has fallen down the order quite a bit in his second final race of his career in our career mode. Obviously, we take over his car next season, like I mentioned many times, so Homestead Miami going to be his final race and likely going to be his final shot at victory because Johnson certainly doesn't have the speed today at ISM to get a victory. Now as complete the second lap now as it came through onto lap 6, still running in P4. A bit behind Kyle Busch as we go down into turns 1 and 2, and there's trouble behind. Ross Chastain goes spinning down the front straightaway in traffic, hits Hailie Deegan, and he goes up towards the wall there after contact with Parker Kligerman, and the caution comes out now in the second stage as we would get ready to go green from P4. No pit stop necessary now as the green flag is back out. We're once again underway here at ISM Raceway, trying to push Eric Jones out in front here as we head down towards turns 1. Our teammate Chase Elliott just behind me in the number 9 cars that go down into turns 1 and turns 2. Certainly not the corner I needed right there as I went a little wide on the entrance there as Truex gets clear pretty quickly of Eric Jones for that first position as he continues to try and set a dominating performance here in ISM as we go down into turn 3. Kyle Busch trying to take over second place from Jones there as we come through the center of the corner, but they would all quickly get clear of me or stay clear of me and get away, so we cut straight to now approaching the final lap in the stage. You can see how far those 3 had driven away. Truex continuing to lead as my car was slipping and sliding all over the place at this point. I had completely destroyed my tires, so I was just trying to defend 4th place here as we start this final lap in stage 2 as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2. You can see just how sideways we are there, just hanging on for dear life as we come through the center of the corner now, going down the back straightaway for the final time, playing a little bit of defense over Eric Almirola as we go down into turn 3 for the final time in the stage. Almirola and Newman right behind us there, along with Jamie McMurray there as we come out of turn 4. Almirola looks to the inside as we come through to cross the line. We get edged out by Almirola at the line and get P5 in the second stage here at ISM. And at this point, we would come to pit road for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires. And Eric Jones at this point was about 11 points to the good. Kyle Busch was now 7 points to the good, and Chase Elliott was the first car out, and he was 7 points out. So Chase Elliott has some work to do now as this final stage is underway here at ISM Raceway. We had 3 cars stay out, including Kevin Harvick, Paul Menard, and another driver up there, David Reagan, as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2. Kevin Harvick's pretty much locked in at this point if nothing crazy happens now as we come through turns 1 and turns 2, making contact with the back there of Eric Jones as we go down the back straightaway side by side with Ryan Newman as we get in behind him in that 9th position. So we can for sure at this point say it's going to be myself and Kevin Harvick in the final 4, but now Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, and Kyle Larson are all going to have to battle it out on points. At the end of stage 2, Larson was approximately 21 points out, so Larson certainly has some work to do. He's going to need some luck. Kurt Busch, 31 out. Martin Truex Jr. at this point was only about 18 points out, so it wasn't necessarily over for him, but he still likely has to win here at ISM Raceway as we go down into turn 3 in front of David Reagan, taking back over that 7th position, just over Brad Keselowski as Kevin Harvick tries to take the lead here from Kyle Busch as we go through, crossing the line with 37 to go, but Kyle Busch certainly showing a lot of speed here at ISM now as we go down into turns 1 on the inside of Newman and Paul Menard in the 21 car. Now moving ourselves into a top 5 position here at ISM Raceway as we go down the back straightaway behind Eric Jones as Almirola and Harvick were up ahead now as we came through on lap 48 though. We were sitting still behind Almirola, but Ryan Newman had actually been just in front of me at this point as we go down into turns 3. Now looking to the inside of Eric Almirola, taking over 4th from him as we exit turn 4. We would then drive away from the cars behind us as Kyle Larson made a pass on Eric Almirola, but I would be continuing to ride in the 4th position as Newman was putting the pressure on Jones in that 2nd position. Kyle Busch continuing to lead as we briefly touch apron and get a little bit sideways, but right now it's certainly looking like Jones and Kyle Busch are going to be the other 2 drivers in the final 4 with 19 laps to go in this race. Just counting down the laps at this point as it was pretty calm, but we were starting to close in on lap traffic here late in Phoenix, so obviously that was going to play a little bit of a factor now as we come through with 16 to go. We had run down those lap cars there as you see Ryan Newman stuck behind Ryan Truex. Jones getting clear of that pack now as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2, quickly closing in on the outside now of Ryan Newman there as we come out of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway, taking over the 3rd position as we battle alongside Ryan Truex as we go down into turn 3. Newman finding no way around the traffic at all as we come through turn 3 and turns 4, just in front of Kligerman there as we exit the corner, heading down the front straightaway as we're going to come through, making a little bit of contact there with Kligerman, getting sideways, but we make a save as we go down into turns 1. And Ryan Newman, he would get past that group of cars, and he would get to my back bumper now as it came to lap 64, and he would be able to look to the inside of me and make the passes. Joey Logano also came through on the inside as he was showing a lot of speed late here, as my tires were certainly starting to fall off at this point, and I was just running out of speed, so I wasn't really putting up much of a fight at this point there as we come out of turn 2. Logano, he would be able to get ahead along with Newman now as it came to lap 66. Truex coming through on the inside. I know the situation that he's in, so I'm just going to move out of Truex's way and let him take the position there. And now as we came through with just 4 to go in this race, still battling there with Ryan Newman as he had actually fallen back, and we were within a battle with him as now Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had gone to my back bumper, now to my inside as well as we came through turns 1 and turns 2. So Stenhouse, he would be able to get ahead, and 7th would really be as far as we would fall down now as we came to 2 laps to go at this point. Kyle Busch, he's about to win his way into the final 4 as we go through turns 1 and turns 2, just trying to run down Newman and Stenhouse. A great day for Roush Fenway Racing here in our career mode. I don't think they've ever both finished in the top 10. I certainly could be wrong, but a great run for both Roush Fenway drivers, Newman and Stenhouse, running P5 and P6 as we come out of turn 4, coming through out of the corner to take the white flag as we briefly get into the wall. Kyle Busch and Eric Jones for sure going to be the other 2 in the final 4. There's Kevin Harvick. He's coming out of the pit road as he stayed out at the beginning of stage 3, so he had to come through to take fuel. So he's down in the low 30s, but it does not matter. Kevin Harvick will be in the final 4 now as we go down the back straightaway as we head down towards turn 3 for the final time here in ISM Raceway. Kyle Busch comes out of turn 4. He will win at ISM Raceway, and he will be in the final 4 along with Eric Jones, myself, and Kevin Harvick as we cross the line to finish in the 7th position here at Phoenix. And our other Hendrick Motorsports teammate of Chase Elliott, who was also trying to get into the Final 4, unfortunately misses out on the Final 4 position as he did not have a good race at all today. As Kevin Harvick actually finished dead last there, 2 laps down, so certainly not a good run for Kevin Harvick, but he still gets into the Final 4. There you see it. We made it by a lot of points. Kyle Busch Kevin Harvick, Eric Jones all in. So Elliott, the first car out, missed it by 20 points. Truex 27. Larson and Kurt Busch didn't even get close there. So unfortunate for them. Larson made the Final Four last season by winning his way in, but not the case, obviously, this season. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe.
Wow, everybody's talking about you, how clean you drive and how professional you are. Great job. Keep it up.
Thank you, Ray Evernham. So, in the next one, though, we decide a championship, or a champion. Obviously, we're going for championship number 2. In our career mode, we won the championship last season. We're going against the car that we won the championship with last season. I think this is one of the more competitive Final Fours we're going to have. We have really the big 3 drivers that have been up front in the points all season. Myself, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch, and then Eric Jones, who has had a great last half of the season. So, this is going to be a really good championship battle, I think. So, make sure you guys tune in for Homestead, Miami. I will see you guys in the next one for the final race of the season. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.